was watching some Minecraft SOS when an idea struck me. Create a Minecraft city out of one of the players' Minecraft SOS houses. Wait, no. Create a mega city consisting of areas for every Minecraft SOS player's house. Simple. I've had ideas before and created series out of them. How could this one be any different? We're going to start off with Joel's area and build his cute little cottage to kick off this city. So, I started building it. Cool montage, huh? It's kind of quiet around here. Dare I say, even a little boring. It's almost like we need something to just come out of nowhere and add a challenge or something. Whoa! What in the SOS is that? A hat? Wait. The hat of what? Why is it glowing? What's going on? Why can't I get it off? What's that? You mean to tell me there's a twist to this series? I'm just building the ultimate SOS city. What more can there be to that? There's a challenge every episode, and if I fail the challenge, my audience will get to vote on my forfeit in the community tab of my channel. Okay, this could be fun. What's my first challenge then? I have to hide a singular honey block somewhere in Joel's area of the city, invite a friend on, and if they find it before a 5-minute timer is up, then I have failed my challenge. Okay, I accept the challenge. Well, it looks like I'll have to hide that honey block after we finish Joel's area. Now, the goal with Joel's cottage was to build a block per block replica of it. This was simple for the front of the house, except for the window above the porch. I have no idea if I did that right. But for the most part, it was as simple as Joel saying,
I want this cottage to have a little porch. And then on this porch, let's make ourselves a little arch. Lovely.
And me building that. And once I finished the front of the house, it was time to move on to a trickier bit. The side. I was honestly unsure if I was going to be able to replicate this perfectly. I messed up the dimensions of the roof too many times to count, but eventually I figured it out. Or so I thought. I was filling in the walls when I realized I most definitely did not do it right and was off by a few blocks. So then began the process of scooching the roof in a bit, fixing the walls, and finally, something close to, if not exactly, like the original. And luckily, the back of the house was rather simple. It was probably the easiest part of this build, as I just found a part in Joel's video where he was walking behind his house and copied it block by block. Next, I simply copied what I did with the other side of the roof and somehow continued to struggle slightly with placing the blocks properly. But once I figured it out, it was on to the top of the roof. Now, as you can see, Joel's roof is very, very overgrown and contains mossy cobble, waxed weather oxidized copper. God, that name could not be any longer, could it? Moss blocks, and lots of flowers and leaves and such. So I tried my best to copy the roof exactly, but got very lost along the way, and just ended up taking creative liberty and freehanding it. Tossing in some more foliage and flower pots, and Jimmy's bell, of course. Joel's cottage, the first building of this city, was finally complete. But the land around it was rather flat. I knew I needed to build up the land around it, but what should the land be like? Would it be an azalea-filled mesa section, or an old haunted forest? I didn't know. But what I did know is that I could at least build in some cliffs to make this a multi-layered town. I started forming the shape of the cliffs with some sand, being very careful not to bury the cottage I just built, and then I started playing around with some blocks, and eventually, well, grass made the most sense. So I created some grassy hills and turned the peaks in the back into mossy stone. The basics of the land were complete, and since I still didn't know what the theme of Joel's city would be other than overgrown, I decided to call it a day and resume in the morning. So I did some thinking, and I decided to make this city a tranquil, hidden town and bee haven hidden deep in the woods. The bees in this town are said to create the most delicious honey in the world, so all of it is hidden away, except for the one honey block that I have to hide somewhere in this town. Now that I had the theme figured out, it was time to start planting the forest. And by planting, I mean building huge trees and adding tons of them to the forest. The first tree I built was a spruce azalea tree, which I thought complemented the cottage quite well. And then I went up to an open spot on the second layer of this village and created a large oak azalea tree. I had completed 2 trees. Easy. I decided a third was definitely necessary to throw into the mix, but then something else caught my eye. The uneven land. So I started smoothing out the land until I came across a corner which was rather jagged, and instead of covering it up and moving on, I began digging out an alcove. If this is a secret village hidden deep in the forest, then it should contain many secrets, right? like a classic secret special treasure cove hidden behind the waterfall. So I added plenty of honeycomb blocks, chests, azalea leaves, and lanterns to create a quaint but beautiful hideaway. And then it was back to the trees. I copied the tree I had built next to the cottage and pasted it up on the second layer next to our mighty oak tree, which left a small area between the two, and gosh was it obvious what we needed to put there. A bench. What a cute place to sit down and have a rest. Surely now, it was time to place the rest of the trees down in the forest? No. You thought I was capable of staying on task? Well, think again, because wouldn't the open spot next to our oak tree be the perfect place to try to paste another cottage? Go on, paste it in. I'm now realizing that this cottage is probably not going to fit up here. I have not left a lot of space now, have I? But a lack of space was not going to stop me. I decided to paste another cottage up atop the cliffs in the back to create a third layer to this city. Soon the house was pasted on top of the cliffs, but there was no way to reach it. So next I decided to build a bamboo staircase. I decided to make it wrap around the cliff and come up to the right of the cottage. The staircase was not difficult to build, but it looked a little out of place, so I opted to add in some fences and lanterns, and to stick with the overgrown theme, some azalea leaves growing all around the stairs. Since I had just connected layers 2 and 3, I figured I might as well take the time to connect layers 1 and 2. So I spiraled bamboo stairs up and around the cliff, many twists and turns in this one. I stuck to the same design as the first staircase and added in some fences and lanterns. Then of course, the azalea leaves. Something still looked a bit off about this one though, so I tried to work some stone around the outer parts of the staircase, which I think ended up looking a little bit better. And then suddenly, I was placing some blocks when something came out of nowhere. Oh, my kitty cat is meowing. He wants to say hello. Oh, look at him. Look at him. Hi. Okay, now back to business. I started placing more— Guess number 2? She's a lot smaller and easier to handle. Now that both the Fluffies had made their grand entrance, it was actually time to get back to building. So I took advantage of this little alcove the curving stairs had created and made a little secret alcove. Who knows? Maybe this is the place I'll hide the honey block. Now that the staircase was complete, it was time to move on to a little more landscaping. But first—
Huh?
Now that the cat had been hugged, I could move on to the land flattening, because the next thing I need to do is plan out the entire rest of the city. Where are all the buildings going to go? And by all the buildings, I mean like 2 or 3 more, because we are very limited on space. So I started with the area next to the staircase I had just built, and this is where a shop will be going. It took me a bit to get this shop just right, but I started by building the typical structure of a marketplace, pop-up shop sort of thing. Spruce wood and wool up top. I went for a very nice green color scheme with the wool, since this is based off of Smallishbeans SOS area. The first variant of the shop looked a bit too tall, maybe? So I adjusted it, and it was looking much better. So then I stepped back to figure out what more I could possibly add. And well, the answer was quite obvious. What's a shop without a shopkeeper? And of course, our shopkeeper needs to be selling honeycomb, as this is a bee haven. I added some final touches with some azalea leaves to give the same overgrown look like all the other buildings in this city will have, and our shop was complete. But now we had this awkward space next to the shop. It was probably too small to add another cottage, and adding another shop might make it seem a bit too cluttered. I decided to try placing another cottage there anyway, and quickly proved myself right. The space was much too small. I had no clue what would be going in this space, but what I did know is that there was a much bigger area next to the edge of the cliffs, so I could at least paste another cottage here while I tried to figure out what would go in that other area. And so I did just that. Until our arch nemesis struck again. Nope, not the added challenges, but the lack of space. I had to expand the cliffs around the cottage a bit as best as I could, otherwise half of the cottage would just be floating in air. So once I built the cliffs around our third cottage, it was back to our previous dilemma. The awkward space next to the shop. I thought about this for a while and eventually decided the only thing that could actually fit in this space was another shop. So I copied it and pasted it into this spot, and it actually fit rather perfectly. So I added a shopkeeper and changed the roof to be made of blue wool instead of green wool to add in some variety. And then I decided to add one more little touch up. There we go. So I've built a cute little beehive area in here where they're harvesting their honey from. And now I will actually build the tree. And to fill in the empty space at the corner of the shops, I decided it was finally time to build our third tree, which I will call the huge, massive spruce tree. Because as you can see, it is ginormous. It was a bit of a struggle to build, but oh my gosh, okay, this went from being my least favorite tree to my favorite tree. I actually love this one so much. Oh my gosh. In fact, I loved it so much, I decided to immediately copy another one to the top of the cliffs. I continued to add some more greenery to our forest by growing some small vanilla trees around the cliffs and by bone mealing the ground. And when that was done, it suddenly became much easier to see where more buildings could actually go and which areas still needed to be improved. So the next day, I set a goal to finish the city. Progress was quickly made as I began building cliffs to surround the city. Then I built a path throughout our forest, which led up to our final empty area, where a watchtower clock thingy will go. For this build, I knew I needed to copy the style of Joel's original cottage, so it wouldn't stick out like a sore thumb. And I pretty quickly figured out the exact structure I was going for. And I unlocked a new skill, the ability to add dimension. This build was soon about to break the limits of what I previously thought was possible in building in Minecraft. I began adding arches that stuck out from the tower, and windows with depth. How do you say that word? I copied this pattern all the way up. Failed at building a clock, so I guess this is a watchtower now, no longer a watchtower clock thingy. Built up 3 more walls, threw a dome-shaped roof on top, mixed in some azalea leaves, and voila! Isn't it just the greatest thing you have ever seen? I then looked around the village and fixed up a few little mistakes. And when I was connecting our second layer to the staircase to the third layer, I realized I had accidentally created the perfect place to hide our honey. Sure, it's a little bit out in plain sight, but it's also quite dark. And I found that if I placed the honey block right up against the staircase, it was not visible to anyone just passing by. Yes, it was decided. This would be the place where our honey block would be hidden. And since the city was complete and our honey block was hidden beneath the stairs, the only thing left to do was invite a friend on to explore the city and try to find this honey block.
5 minutes?
Yeah.
That's like barely anything.
It's
10 minutes.
10 minutes?
We compromise with a 7.
7 minutes, fine. I'm more likely to drink olive juice, but that's fine. Okay. Timer has started. So, you have 7 minutes.
Oh god. Is it just gonna be like a placed honey block, or is it gonna be like in a chest?
It'll be placed.
But honey block, I found it.
No, this is honeycomb.
Is it on his roof? Wait, why is this so much? Wait, there's more stairs? There's more up?
Yes.
To go up more?
It's quite the cliffy.
Oh god, is it in the water?
It's quite the cliff.
Is it in the water? Honey, no. It's just bloody honey everywhere. Why is there honey everywhere? This is just his house again.
Yep.
Oh no, is it in there? Why were you so smug about the fact that I didn't investigate in there? This is tense. I don't know why I'm acting like I want you to suffer.
Yeah, if you win, I suffer. What a great prize.
Nothing up here. Great. That was so. Is it in the roof? No. There's just one more layer. That's nice. I just place a honey block from my inventory.
No. Yeah, that just places it.
Wait. Is it gonna be like under one of the chests?
No, you will be able to see it. I'll give you that since there's 340 left.
It's in like a really obvious place.
Like there's really nothing blocking it necessarily.
What in here, B? B, show me. Take me to the honey. Where are you? Take me to the honey. Why can I hear a villager?
Oh, they're shopkeepers.
What shop?
These shops. These little.
Oh, hi. Oh, you happen to have a honey block on you. Wait, so does that mean it's just not up here at all?
Oh, but it's not here. This is
just
gonna lead to the next part of the city. It's definitely with something I've built. It's not just kind of out in the woods.
It's not just on, so it's not just on a tree.
No, it's not.
It's on something you've built.
Yeah.
It's in a house?
No, it's not inside anything. Now that you have 1 minute and 50 seconds left, I'll tell you that.
I wasted all my time inside. It's with something you've built. Or is it on these stairs?
Oh, so I'll tell you, it is on. It's
Okay,
on
so
this level. It's on the middle level. It's right here.
I swear it's right
No,
here.
I
It's right here.
I mean, it's on the middle level, like right this level.
In the water. I'm stuck in the pond.
I don't know. Is this in the
It's
secret
with something you
honeycomb
built.
cave behind a waterfall, or is it in a shopkeeper's shop?
What?
That could be a
I
bluff.
went to the cave. I swear I went to this cave.
Where I am, there is a radius of like 30
Where
blocks.
are you?
around
I don't know where you are.
My
Oh,
camera died yet
that's
again.
right.
Thanks, camera.
Yeah.
5,
Am I
4,
blind?
3,
Am I blind?
2,
I'm blind.
1.
I'm literally blind.
Secret area. Oh, I placed a honey block.
Can you get to the back of the house?
I don't know, can you?
No, can you? Shut up. Sorry. Sorry.
Oh shit.
Ashley, you've hid it in a place that you can't get
Crap.
to.
I swear I just walked on it. I heard the splodge.
Maybe you're
The
hearing
splodge.
things.
I can hear it. Oh, down here. Oh. I'm so excited. Ah, found it.
No!
I found it.
No!
Oh, were you placing and breaking honey?
I was. Okay, but
I knew
the
it.
first time I